What's up, you bunch of rats? No, seriously, I hope y'all had a great day. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I just want to share something with you real quick. It was something that I kind of got some insight about today when I was analyzing my own life. I got to go hunting for the first time in about a year without any children. And as much as I was looking forward to it, I just knew I was going to just mow down everything that come my way. I actually began to actually think. It's amazing what you can do when things are silent. But anyway, I began to evaluate my life. This is something I try to do as much as possible. But with life and the way things are nowadays, everything's 90 miles an hour and it's hectic. It's hard to do that. But I began to analyze where I am. I began to compare it to where I was. And I began to evaluate, is it on track with where I'm wanting to go? Well, it's hard to do right now. 2020 has flipped my life upside down, and just about every one of y'all's lives upside down. We're not in the same. We're not even on the same path we used to be. So you really can't compare like that anymore. But in the process of all this, the devil began to whisper in my ear, "Zach, you're not doing anything. You're not amounting to anything. You're wanting to do all this stuff. You believe you're a good guy. You're wanting to help people, but in reality, you're not amounting to anything." And for a second, I began to believe it because it's easy to believe in a season like this. It's easy to begin to let those lies take hold of your life. But, thankfully, I realized real quick that wasn't the case, that I do as much as I'm able to do. And that was nothing more than a lie from the devil. So I began to argue, defend myself. You know what I mean? I began to swell my chest up a little bit. But no, in reality, I told myself, I don't care what anybody else thinks of me. Or if they say, "Oh, Zach's off his game," look where he used to be, look what he used to do, but look at him now. Everybody wants to write you off. But what I did speak into that conversation with myself was that if they only saw what was going on beneath the surface, they'd understand that there's more happening now than has ever happened before. And that's when God began to help me see this from a different lens, if you would. A farmer, and every man in my family farms except for me. For the majority, for my entire adult career, I spent my time on the road making a living, and all that's changed now, but I know farming. That's how God speaks to me for the most part. I feel closer to God on a farm in the country than I do anywhere, probably on earth, aside from a deer stand. But going back to if they could only see what was happening beneath the surface, that's when God reminded me of the season in a farmer's life to where he has toiled and planted and plowed and worked the ground, and he spent all these countless hours getting everything ready to plant. And then he plants that seed and he waits. And for that certain period there, nothing happens. You look at that field and it looks barren. It looks there's nothing in it. There's not even weeds there anymore. It's nothing but dirt. And nothing's happening. And in a farmer's life, that's when they can kind of relax. But in our lives, and I think that's where we're at right now, I know that me specifically, that is where I'm at. All the work's been put in, all the toil's been put in, all the effort, all the countless hours, all the just everything for that seed to be planted. And I believe that right now, all of us are in a season of waiting on that seed to spring forth life. In these moments like this, and this is something new, I believe wholeheartedly that 2020 is a year of new beginnings. I do. I have seen too much in my own personal life and in other people's lives to think that 2020 is not going to end up being anything more than one of the biggest blessings that any of us will probably be able to look past when we reflect on our past. When we begin to share stories in the future with our children or our grandchildren, I would say that the majority of each and every one of us are going to have something beautiful that comes as a result of all the chaos that happened in 2020. 2020 worked our ground. It worked our dirt. But there was something great that happened here. You know, if you let God lead and you trust in God and you believe in God and you know that He works everything together for the good of those that love Him and those that are called by His name, then you have to believe that in every situation, the good, bad, the ugly, He's doing something beautiful. It doesn't matter what the enemy intends to do. It doesn't matter how bad we might mess it up. He's working on our behalf. And I believe that's what's happening. So just like that farmer, they don't go to selling their equipment and filing bankruptcy after they've planted that crop and they're waiting on it to begin to grow. No, that's when they relax. They relax because they know the work's been done. They know that all they're waiting on now is God to say, all right, time begins now. And that new life springs forth. That crop that once looked barren, that if you was to drive by and look at it and you was to think, oh, that thing ain't worth nothing. But that farmer knows that there is thousands and thousands and thousands of seeds out there planted that are slowly growing beneath that surface, getting ready to bust through, and they're going to produce life. They're going to produce new fruit. It's going to become, a complete blessing to that farmer. And that's what 2020 is going to do for us, y'all. So if you're in that season of waiting, don't give up. Don't abandon what you've been doing. Don't give up on yourself. Don't doubt yourself, and don't doubt what God's doing. I promise you, if you'll just stick it out a little bit longer, we're going to see some beauty come from this. We're going to see some new doors open. We're going to see some new beginnings. We're going to see new life begin to grow. And I cannot wait to be able to share that with y'all and to see it happen in y'all's lives. But I wanted to share that with you because, like I said, it was exciting to me. I get excited about stuff like this. I get excited about God. But I get even more excited when He begins to have that communication back with me and He begins to show me things and He helps me to understand the whys and the whats and the ifs behind everything. Because He hadn't gave up on us, y'all. He hadn't abandoned us. We're on the verge of seeing new life. I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas. I hope you have a blessed night. And appreciate what you got. And appreciate this downtime. Relax. Y'all have a good night.